equations. We have introduced linear equations in the junior classes. But in this class, we'll be concerned with word problems that leads to those linear equations, just as you have your word problems leading to linear equations. The first question we want to go into in that word problems leading to linear equations is this question number 1. The question says, assuming 104 is divided into 2 parts, such that one part is 3/5 of the other part. Find the 2 parts. You're going to start this question by saying, let the 2 parts be, use any 2 letters. Let's use X and Y. From the first sentence, assuming 104 is divided into these 2 parts, it means that X plus Y will be equal to 104. Separated, 104 is separated into 2 parts. That means if you add the 2 parts together, you get the 104. Then the question went on and said that the division was such that one part is 3/4 of the other part. Let's assume that X is one part and is equal to 3/5. Sorry, not 3/4, 3/5 of the other part, which is Y. This means X is equal to 3/5 times Y/1. That's the meaning of this. That will give you that X is equal to 3Y/5. Now, substitute X is equal to 3Y/5 in the first equation. Use 3Y/5 to replace X in the first equation. The equation will be, instead of X plus Y is equal to 104, it will become 3Y/5 plus Y/1. I'm writing Y in its fraction form is equal to 104. Find the LCM of 5 and 1. You know that the LCM is 5. 5 divided 5 is 1 times 3Y will give you 3Y. Bring plus. 5 divided 5 is 5 times Y will give you 5Y. Is equal to 104. 3Y plus 5Y will give you 8Y. So we have that 8Y divided by 5 is equal to 104. All over 1. I have just written 104 in fraction form. If you cross multiply, you discover that 8Y times 1 will give you 8Y. And it's going to be 5 times 104. First of all, 5 times 4 is 20. Write 0 and raise 2. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 2 will give you the 2. 5 times 1 will give you 5. That means 5 times 104 is 520. If 8Y is equal to 520, that means only Y dividing both sides by 8 is going to be 520 all over 8. And 520 all over 8 is going to give you 65. Now that you have discovered that the value of Y is 65, go back to your initial equation. Substitute Y is 65 so that you find the value of X. The initial equation is X plus Y is equal to 104. But Y is 65. That means X plus 65 is equal to 104. Subtract 65 from both sides. You'll be left with only x in the left-hand side of the equation. And it's going to be equal to 104 minus 65. 39. So our x is 39. That means 104 was divided into the parts of 65 and 39. If you want to cross-check, you do that by adding 39 and 65 to find if it will be up to 104. It's equal to 104. You are correct. Question number 2 on our linear equation. Word problems leading to linear equation. It says the rectangle below this rectangle has its dimensions in terms of x and y as shown. You can see the dimension. This one is 3y plus 2. This is 2x centimeters. This is x plus 7 centimeters. And this is x plus y plus 1 centimeter. Now the question says we should calculate the value of x and y as could be found in the dimensions. You and I knows that every rectangle has its opposite sides equal to themselves. With that principle, we are going to draw equations and from there find the value of x and y. If this is a rectangle, it means that 2x, this side, is equal to this side, x plus y plus 1. X plus y plus 1. If this is a rectangle. At the same time, 3y plus 2. 3y plus 2 will be equal to x plus 7. X plus 7. From the first, we can derive an equation. Bring x, y, and allow only 1 to be on the right hand side of the equation, where you take x and y to the left hand side. That one becomes 2x. X coming to this side will change to minus x. Y coming to that side will change to minus y. Is equal to 1 is already here. Now 2x minus give you 1x. Then minus y is equal to 1. Make x the subject of the formula. Add y to both sides of the equation. When you do so, you have only x in the left hand side, and on the right hand side you have 1 plus y. Substitute x is equal to 1 plus y in the second equation. You know that you can call this first equation and call this second equation. Now the second equation is that 3y plus 2 is equal to, instead of x, put 1 plus y. 1 plus y, then plus 7. Try to collect like terms. We have 3y. Y coming to this side will change to minus y. Then it's equal to, you already have 1 here, plus 7. 2 coming to this side will change to minus 2. 3y minus y will give you 2y. And it's going to be 1 plus 7 is 8 minus 2 will give you 6. If I go side by 2, you'll be left with y is equal to 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Now that you have succeeded in y to be 3, now substitute this value that y is 3 in any of the equations. Let's take equation 1. First equation says 2x is equal to x plus y plus 1. That's the first equation. But we have discovered that y is 3. get like terms, we have 2x, x coming to this side, we change to minus x. Then is equal to, already we have y, which is 3. 3 plus 1. 2x minus x will give you 1x. And it's going to be equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. That means the value of x is 4, while the value of y is 3 in that equation. And that has brought us to the end. Question number 3 says, a cyclist cycled for x hours at 12 kilometers per hour. He cycled again for y hours at 16 kilometers per hour. Then if the total distance he covered and total time it took him are 66 kilometers and 5 hours respectively, that means total distance is 66, total hour it took him is 5 hours. Then the question says we should find the values of x and y as it is used therein. Now the total time it took, total time is, the first one took x hours, the second trip took y hours. So the total time is x plus y. And remember, they said that the total time taken is 5 hours. That means x plus y is equal to 5. So this is our first equation now. Okay. The total distance taken. You know that speed, let's use s to replace speed, is calculated as, let's use d to replace distance all over time. That is speed. If you write speed in fraction form and cross multiply, you discover that d, distance, is going to be speed times time. Now, if distance is speed times time, you will discover that the first trip took 12 kilometers times x hours. First trip, the distance covered will be 12 times x. The second trip, the distance for the second trip, this is first trip. Distance for second trip is going to be 16 kilometers per hour speed times y hours, which will give us 16 times y. This is second trip. Now, 12 times x will give you 12x. If you add it to 16 times y, which is 16y, it will be equivalent to the total distance, which they gave us to be 66. So this is the second equation. So the two simultaneous equations we have now are, number one, x plus y is equal to 5. This is equation 1. Then we have 12x plus 16y is equal to 66. This is equation 2. So it will be from these two equations, this simultaneous equation, that we can decode and find the values of x and y which the equation is asking for. Now let's start by, first of all, let's make the coefficient of x in both equations to be the same thing. And how do you do it? Multiply equation 1, everything on equation 1 by 12, the coefficient of x in equation 2. And multiply everything in equation 2 by the coefficient of x in equation 1, which is 1. So what we are going to do now is equation 1 times 12. 12 times x will give you 12x. 12 times y will give you plus 12y. Is going to be equal to 12 times 5 is going to give you 60. So this is now our equation 1. Equation 2, we are going to multiply it throughout by the coefficient of x in equation 1, which is 1. And 1 times anything is that thing. So we are copying down equation 2 the way it is. You are going to have 12x plus 16y is equal to 66. This will now be our equation 2. Now, subtract equation 1 from equation 2. Subtract this from this. When you do that, 12 minus 12, they will cancel. That is 12x minus 12x. We are subtracting. They will cancel. 16y minus 12y, you'll be left with 4y. It's going to be equal to 66 minus 60 will give you 6. If you divide both sides by 4, you're going to have only y left in left-hand side of the equation. And on the right-hand side, you have 6 divided by 4. And 6 divided by 4 is going to give you 1.5 or 1.5. That is the value of y. Now we can take this value of y and substitute it in any of our equations. Let's take equation 1 because equation 1 is simpler to get the value of x. Equation 1 is x plus y is equal to 5. But we have found that y is 1.5. So use 1.5 and substitute y so that you can get the value of x. So we're going to have x plus, I want to use 6 all over 4. You know, it is the same thing as 1.5. It's equal to 5. This is all over 1. Find the LCM. Simple arithmetic. 1 divided 4 is 4. 4 times x will give you 4x. Plus 4 divided 4 is 1 times 6. To give you 6 is equal to 5. This 5 will be all over 1. If you cross multiply, you are going to discover that 4x plus 6 multiplying 1 will give you 4x plus 6. And it's going to be equal to 4 times 5, which is 20. Subtract 6 from both sides so as to eliminate 6 from the left-hand side. If you do so, you're going to have 4x only left on the left-hand side, and it's going to be equal to 20 minus 6. We're going to have that 4x is equal to 20 minus 6 will give you 14. If you divide both sides by 4, you are going to discover that you have only x left on the left-hand side. And it's going to be 14 divided by 4. And 14 divided by 4, 4 into 14 will give you 3. And that 3 is 12. You'll be left with 2 over 4, which is something as 1 all over 2. That means in that question, the value of y is 1.5. Y, the value of x is also 3.5, which is the same thing as 3.5. This also has the value of 3.5. And that has brought us to the end of that question. What you need to add here is that this is 1.5 hours. And this is also 3.5 hours. 2 times as old as his son. In the next 6 years, their ages will sum up to 82. Calculate their present ages. A son and a father, the relationship in their ages. first sentence says that 5 years ago. First of all, you start by let the age of the father be represented with X, and let the age of son be represented with the letter Y. Now go to the first sentence. 5 years ago. 5 years ago means X, the age of the father minus 5. The age of the son minus 5. 5 years ago. The age of the father will be X minus 5. He said 5 years ago, the age of the son will be Y minus 5. That is that. Then, that same 5 years ago, the father was 2 times as old as the son. That means this age of the father is 2 times this age of the son. That will give you that X minus 5, which is the age of the father 5 years ago, is equal to 2 of the age of the son 5 years ago. It's a simple reasoning. From here, we can derive our equation 1. The equation is going to be X minus 5 is equal to, open this bracket, 2 times Y will give you 2Y. 2 times minus 5 will give you minus 10. Try to make this a linear equation. You're going to have X minus 2Y. 2Y crossing to the left hand side, you change to, already you have minus 10 here. Minus 5 crossing to this side, we change to plus 5. So I'm going to have that X minus 2Y is equal to minus 5. This will be our first equation. Then let's go to the second sentence. In the next 6 years, the age of the father is going to be X plus 6. Next 6 years, the age of the father is going to be X plus 6. Also, in the next 6 years, the age of the son is going to be Y plus 6. In the next 6 years, their ages will sum up to 82 years. That means in that next 6 years, X plus 6, which will be the age of the father, plus Y plus 6, which will be the age of the son, is going to be equal to 80. So I'm going to have that X plus 6, the age of the father in the next 6 years, then plus Y plus 6 is going to be 82. So we're going to have X plus Y plus 12. That's the meaning of this. It's going to be 82. This is our equation 2. So the 2 equations we have now are X minus 2Y is equal to minus 5. The first equation. Second equation, remember you're going to take this to this side and subtract 12 from 82, and you'll be left with 70. So the second equation is going to be X plus Y. X plus Y is going to be equal to, if you take plus 12 to the right hand side of the equation, it will change to minus. And if you subtract 12 from 82, you'll be left with 70. So this is equal to 70. This is our equation 2. Now we are going to solve the simultaneous equation so as to find the values of x and y, which will mean the present age of the father and the son, respectively. Now subtract equation 1 from equation 2, or whichever way, just put minus here. X minus x, we cancel. Minus 2y minus y, we give you minus 3y. It's going to be equal to minus 5 minus 70. It's going to give you minus 75. Now we are going to divide both sides by minus 3 so as to have only y left on the left-hand side of the equation. When you do that, you are going to have y is equal to minus 75 divided by minus 3. 3 divides 7 is going to give you 2. You'll be left with 1. Remember, minus will cancel minus. Then if you put that 1 in front of 5, it will be 15. 3 divided 15 will give you 5. That means the value of our y is 25. Now we are going to substitute this value for y in any of our equations. Let's take equation 1. Equation 1 is x minus 2y is equal to minus 5. X minus 2y is equal to minus 5. Then our y has been found to be 25. So put the value of y to 25 in this equation. It's going to give us x minus 2 times 25 is equal to minus 5. It's going to give us x minus 2 times 25 will give you 50 is equal to minus 5. Add 50 to both sides of the equation. You're going to have only x left on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, you're going to have minus 5 plus 50. X is now going to be equal to 50 minus 5 will give you plus 45. That means the age of the father is 45 years, while the age of the son is 25 years. Women contributed y naira each. On a Sunday, 8 men and 10 women gave the sum of 3,500 naira. On another Sunday, 12 men and 4 women gave the sum of 3,600 naira. Find the value of x and y. First Sunday. On the first Sunday, 8 men, 10 women gave the sum of 3,005. What it means is that if each of the men contributed x and each of the women contributed y, and 8 men, 10 women, it means 8 times x, which is 8x, plus y times 10, which will give you 10y, is equal to the sum they contributed, which is 3,500. This is your equation 1. On the next Sunday, second Sunday, they told us that 12 men means 12 times x, which is 12x, plus 4 women. 4 women means 4 times y, which is 4y. They gave the total sum of 3,600. So this is our equation 2. So the 2 equations we have now are 8x plus 10y is equal to 3,500. Second, 12x plus 4y is equal to 3,600. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So we can now solve the simultaneous equation. What we're going to do now is we're going to multiply, because before you can go ahead and solve this simultaneous equation, the coefficient of x in both equations must be the same thing. And what you will do to make them the same thing is multiply the whole of equation 1 by the coefficient of x in equation 2, which is 12. And multiply the whole of equation 2 by the coefficient of x in equation 1, which is 8. Use a calculator. Thank God you are allowed to use a calculator even in your examination hall. Unlike when we wrote our WAEC. You cannot enter the exam hall with something like this. Okay, we are growing. This is the computer age. 8 times 12. 8 times 12. 96. So we have 96x plus 12 times 10 is 120. So we have 120y is equal to 3,500 times 12. 42,000. That is 12 times 3,500. So we have finished multiplying out equation 1. Then multiply equation 2 by 8. 8 times 12 is something as 12 times 8. So we are going to have the same 96x. Plus 8 times 4 will give you 32. So we have 32y. It's going to be equal to 3,600 times 8. It's giving us 28,800. Now we can subtract. This, we subtract this and cancel off. 120 minus 32, 88. So we have 88y is equal to 42,000 minus 28,800. 13,200. Now divide both sides by 88 so as to eliminate 88 from the coefficient of y. When you do that, you're going to have y will be equal to 13,200 divided by 88, giving us 150. So y is 150 naira. Now that we have discovered the value of y, let's substitute it to the value of, for the value of x. Let's take equation 1. Equation 1 is 8x plus 10y is equal to 3,500. We have found our y to be 150. That means use 150 to replace y in that equation. So we're going to have 10 times 150 is equal to 3,500. This is giving us 8x plus 10 times 150 will give you 1,500. Is equal to 3,005. Only 8x is going to be subtracting 1,500 from both sides. It will give you only 8x left on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you have 3,005 minus 1,005. 8x is going to be 2,000. 35 minus 15 will leave you with 2,000. Only x dividing both sides by 8 would give you 2,000 divided by 8, 250. So that means x is 250 naira while y is 150 naira. Now